Good evening, Julien here from beautiful Canggu, Bali. And this is the moment we have all been waiting for. It's the finale of the first EX Venture Night, and we are super excited to find out who is going to win. For the last 12 weeks, we have been talking to technology companies all over Germany, and we're going to bring them in contact with some of the best investors, partners, and customers from all over the world. This is truly the new normal, and I have to say, I like it, because I can talk to so many impactful, smart people without ever leaving my backyard. My carbon emissions have never been lower from doing a roadshow. This time it was close to zero. Don't forget to vote. If you're on our panel, please log in now to members.exventure.co so we can hear your voice, your comments, make appointments with the companies, look at their pitch decks. We want you to be informed so you can find the right company for your deal. We hope you enjoy this program, and on to you, Kayla.
Thanks, Julien. Let's welcome our first host tonight, Susanna Gausenerl, coming in from Singapore. Susanna is a world-class speaker on the topics of climate change and CO2 emissions. Her main focus is in sustainability, and she's dedicated to supporting small farmers in developing countries.
Thank you, Kayla. My name is Susanna Gausenerl, and I'm so excited to be here tonight to present you the agricultural technology category of the Tech Venture Night. Why does it matter? Nature-based solutions play a key role in solving many of the humanity's essential challenges today. And I'm so excited with you tonight to hear pitches from our finalists in the AgTech category. Over to you, Julien.
Thank you, Susanna, so much for coming on this program. And I know it's getting late in Singapore, but this category, AgTech, is just simply so important because at least I believe that there are going to be many challenges to humanity that will not simply be solved by an app. So we need people like Peter in Berlin, who's going to be telling us about the incredible city tree. Peter, take it from here.
Hi, Julien. Thank you so much. My name is Peter, co-founder and CEO of Green City Solutions, a Berlin-based climate tech company. Back in 2014, we discovered a huge environmental problem and therefore founded Green City Solutions. Air pollution and heat in cities. This is a global problem. 90% of all dwellers worldwide are affected, and this causes 8 million premature deaths every single year with an increasing tendency. Therefore, our drive and mission is to bring fresh and clean air back to the people all over the globe. The proof of concept is already made, and we are now scaling the business, widen our product portfolio to create clean air in the future. To make this happen, we developed the world's first scalable biotech filter called City Tree. The City Tree quantifiably cleans the air up to 82% for about 7,000 people every single hour and cool temperature by 4 degrees Celsius. The system is patented and connect the measurable high performance of technical solution on the one side with natural sustainability and set us apart from competition. The technology behind is exceptional and innovative. We combine a livable organism with Internet of Things. Specific chosen and cultivated moss organisms can absorb fine dust and other harmful contaminants and convert them into harmless biomass. To empower this 500 million years old mechanism for people's health, we activate these mosses with the help of IoT and a biological algorithm to increase performance by 10x. Within the last 7 years, we realized over 50 projects in Europe and Hong Kong with over 40 different clients, raised 5 million euros in venture capital for the development of our biotechnology, and gathered European innovation funding. Besides producing fresh air, the City Tree is a piece of smart city infrastructure, providing a physical space for additional services like high-speed internet, energy, sensors, and more. Through digital infotainment systems, the City Tree is the perfect communicator for sustainability strategies for companies and can also earn eco points for the real estate sector. We sell the city trees to cities, corporates, and especially the real estate sector, emerging and fast-growing markets worldwide. With your funding, we will switch our one-off sales strategy to a clean air as a service business model to widen our target groups and generate steady revenues and enhance our bio algorithm. To make this happen, our 26 amazing purpose-driven colleagues merge their unique knowledge to foster the growth of your company. We grow fresh air.
Thank you, Peter, for this incredible presentation. And this is such an example of why I think we need a special format for clean technology companies. Because the first time Peter and I pitched together in Dresden, we were surrounded by all these apps and software programmers. And he had just the idea about an organism that is going to clean and cool the air in inner cities. So was it the most easy solution? No. Did it take longer to actually come to market? Absolutely. But it's so vital that we invest in this technology solution that will really make an impact to the people's lives. And this is why we're so excited about City Tree and what it's doing to the environment all over cities in Germany. So back to you, Susanne, to ask your questions.
Peter, we know that yearly 8 million people around the world die prematurely from air pollution. What is your company doing to solve this problem?
Air pollution causes tremendous health risks in our body, and therefore we found these moss cultures which can attract these fine dust particles from air, absorb them, wrap them, and convert them in harmless biomass. Therefore, these particles are no longer in the air and therefore also not able to attract your lungs, your heart, and carcinomes.
Peter, with the solutions that your company is offering, what is the impact that you have generated so far?
With our projects until now, we set up a lot of city trees in European cities, and we clean the air of 7,000 people every single hour with every single unit. So just imagine the impact if you have 1,000 of our city trees in your city. We can clean the air people breathe in their urban environment.
Green City Solutions. What is the one thing that would change the course of your company today?
Now we have everything in place. We developed a totally new technology. We produce great products and we know about our target groups. Now it needs just a little investment to make all this happen and to bring our technology to the worldwide cities.
Thank you, Peter, for this incredible solution. And I want to see your city trees all over the world. But let's move on to Oldenburg, Germany, very close to my home in Bremen, actually. And we're going to be talking micropropagation of plants. Because if we're going to stop climate change, we're going to need a lot of new plants and the right plants, and we need them fast. And I think there's no better company in the world for that than Picoplant. Frau Hase, please take it from here.
Thank you very much, Julien. I'm very excited about the possibility to present everything here. As you already mentioned, we need a lot of plants. Actually, I think hundreds of millions if we want to have a global change in our atmosphere. Most people are not aware that the plant is producing our oxygen. It is preventing soil erosion. It is binding CO2 not only in the upper part, but as well in the soil with all the root system. And very often they produce interesting products. So I think this is the most important application of planting plants for ecological purpose, but at the same time to make it as well economically feasible to have a good product. And that's what we are working on. We produce about 6 million plants a year by means of green biotechnology, and we are able to produce many plants within a relatively short time, which were selected for special capacities, abilities. For example, one of our projects is the protocol for the production of date palm. Date palm is very important for human nutrition, and it's really the best plant to grow in a desert. another project we are working on, and we made selections via the stem cells to improve the capacity of plants, is cannabis and to produce very rare cannabinoid constituents. So that application again is highly interesting. And we are working on walnut as well to have a good harvest by walnuts. For example, a family in a low-income country can live from the harvest they get from 2 trees of walnut. So this is really unbelievable. So what my attitude is to produce plants which save the nature, make a good part for global change, and at the same time have a high value product. For example, our production of date palm is very interesting. Maybe you can see it a little bit. So we prepared all the different products. And what we would like to do is to find a partner to establish these ideas in other countries. So to have the main production in Oldenburg, export the young plants, we call it seed, but it's not seed, it's the origin of propagation. And then we can slowly go into hardening them in the country where we want to plant them, and have support in this kind of agriculture. And we have a lot of experience now in modern biotechnology. So for us, it is easy to improve plants which originally come from a country, and by the stem cells and changing and selection and different ways of illumination, we can improve the plants, produce elite plants which are then rapidly being propagated. That's very, very short time for a summary of what we can and what we would like to do.
I think this is actually truly exciting, because when we ever talk about projects, especially in developing countries and deserts and everything else, and there's a plan that we are looking for to really make millions and millions of really high quality copies out of, and that are actually going to be selling in those areas and really going to make a difference. There's a solution out there that you can buy right now. There's a technology partner and the technology available that can make that difference. Right? So let's move on, Susanne. What are your questions?
What makes you so special in the world of plant nursing?
So we have about 30 years of experience in plant biotechnology within research and pure production. And the application from ornamental plant to fruit plants is getting more and more important, not only to have the global impact on our weather and sustainability, but as well to refinance it by interesting products, and that is food, feed, and most important, pharmaceutical aspects like cloning of cannabis, by different light spectra, you can influence the way of production of secondary metabolites. So, that's it. No?
Why have you selected the plants that you are breeding? And what is their impact on the world?
So that, for example, there is a client approaching me and we do what he is interested in and improve it. So we have clients worldwide. And at the same time, there are products where I personally think it's important for our world. So I start working on it and then try to market it later on. So it's both, huh? A little bit of both.
Should you win this competition, what will you do?
Honestly, I think we are already part of the winners by having this opportunity to present our work in your social network. And for us, it's important to get in contact with application people, financial aspects, and realize what our vision of having a greener world, most important.
I would think that for a company like yours, partnerships could play an important role in the international expansion. Do you have any plans for that, or are you looking for some partners, perhaps?
At this moment, we are very interested in realizing our date palm project. Date palm, for those, is a huge demand from ecological point of view, and the fruit is so precious. But most of them are dying, it's getting less and less, and by traditional way, it's difficult to propagate them. But we have the recipe to propagate in a much more rapid way. And it would be great to find a partner who is interested in the financial part, but as well has connections to, let's say, North African countries where potential agricultural use is there. So production in Germany of the young plants, small, and transferring them to the country of where the demand is, and helping them to build greenhouses, harden the plants, and make nice plantations.
Thank you so much. This is some really groundbreaking stuff, and we're really happy we can show this on our program. We're moving right on to Andre, who's joining us from Dortmund. Andre, please take it from here. Tell us about Novium.
Hi, Julien. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you guys, and I really appreciate this opportunity to showcase our company. So, Novium is a company that has one mission. We make soil better. We have today millions of hectares worldwide that are being lost for all kinds of reasons against, climate change and all that. We're losing all this arable land all over the world. And with the loss of arable land, there is a loss of organic matter, which is absolutely vital for fertile soils. Okay, and that's exactly the problem that we solve with Novium. We solve another problem, in fact. There is a stranded asset coming up that's called lignite, that's also known as brown coal. There are trillions, literally, the trillions of tons of that in the soil worldwide. And today it's being used for electricity, big polluter, by the way. However, tomorrow, as we all know, sooner or later, everybody's exiting this and using other solutions for electricity production. What do you do with lignite? It's a very wonderful material per se, and particularly if you're doing Novium out of it, you're actually doing something great for the soils. So what we do is that we pick up lignite, we do our special chemistry on it, nitrogen chemistry on it, and what you end up with is with a material that looks like this. It's a black granulate that can be used by the farmer in their normal machinery, and you put this in the soil and it increases dramatically the fertility of the soil. It also helps you reducing your inputs. You can use less fertilizers and other inputs as you use this, because if the soil is better, it sustains better the plants and can retain better the humidity and nutrients that you give to it. Okay? So this is what we do and why we do it. Where do we stand? We launched this product as a commercial product in 2017. Since then, we have been growing 4 times every year in terms of sales. So this is really getting the traction there. We have really hundreds of customers in the meantime that have tried and paid for Novium. And now we are gearing up for the next stage where we want to go global. Right now, we have a small pilot plant here in Dortmund. It's only 1,000 tons production per year. That sounds like a lot for many people, but if you're thinking of agriculture and the scale of it, that's not a very big factory. So we need to scale up. We are talking with a number of partners and going to the next stage where we want to make this a global solution. We are selling right now, or distributing right now in Germany, Spain, and parts of the United States. And we want to engage partners in all those countries and beyond to make sure that we have this wonderful solution available for farmers all over the world. That's it. We are looking for both distribution partners. This is something that we're very, very keen to. Also development partners. If you are in the area of agricultural fertilizers, we're interested to talk to you. But also we're looking for investors. And that's it, Julien. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Andre. This is really an incredible solution, and it's solving, as you say, two problems at the same time, because what we call this brown coal, very sulfur heavy, kind of almost it's not so great for combustion, but there's so much of it, it's rather cheap. If this can be a great soil enhancer, I think you're really doing the world a massive favor here, and we would love to see it grow on an international scale. But enough from me. Let's go back to Susanne for her questions.
How does your company's offering differ from standard garden compost, manure, or even things like synthetic fertilizer?
Okay, thank you, Susanne. That's a great question. Our product is focused on improving the soil quality. It's not about macronutrients. That's what fertilizers are about. Fertilizers are bringing nitrogen, phosphate, etc. as macronutrients for the plants. Our product is, in fact, like food for the soil, which is basically helping the soil not only to retain those nutrients better, but also helping everything that is in the soil to, be very healthy, which then reflects in the life of the plant. So Novihum is not substituting per se a fertilizer, it's not substituting a macronutrient, but it's making sure that the soil, because it's better, will be able to retain those macronutrients better and the plants will be able to use it more efficiently.
What is the significance of healthy soil for mitigating climate change?
Yeah, so that's a fantastic question. We're very excited about this point because we have already an independent study showing that our product is CO2 negative, meaning it's a sink of CO2 if you go from cradle to grave, okay? Which means that in principle, you could start thinking about using this product to fix or to reduce CO2 emission. We are right now doing a number of trials focused exactly on these aspects. And if everything goes well, in a year or two, after the analysis and all that, we hope to start having actually the opportunity to generate carbon credits out of this product. Now, let that sink in. You have a product based on lignite, which is a super CO2 polluter that is now actually reverting this in making sure or giving you the opportunity to generate carbon credits out of lignite. Now, we are in the earlier phases of it. We are working on this. There are good indications of that. And I hope in a few years to give you guys the good news on this.
How do you plan to expand your business worldwide?
Yes, so this is right now what we are discussing with a number of partners. We are thinking of a model that is a mix of joint ventures as well as licensing agreements. That's the model we are right now discussing among ourselves and management and board. So we would have core markets where we would go for joint ventures or even our own facilities, and in non-core markets or markets outside where we could go right now and work with partners in the licensing agreements. So this is right now where we're thinking about this. One key point in this expansion plan is to work with distribution partners. That's why I mentioned during the pitch that we are looking for distribution partners for the product. And having that sorted out, the technology is without any risk anymore. We de-risk the technology, and therefore the expansion would be then having the distribution channels open and at the same time coming into agreements for the production facilities, either in joint ventures or as licensing agreements.
Thank you, Julien. I think this has been an absolutely fantastic evening, and I'm so glad to have heard about all these fantastic companies who I'm sure are going to change this world for a better place. And I can't wait to hear who's the winner. Stay tuned.
What a great first round of pitches for AgTech. Now, let's welcome Juan Macias, joining from Boston. Due to his engagement with Alpha Structure, Juan is the ideal host for our energy transition category, which focuses on meeting the ever-growing global demand of energy consumption through sustainable technologies.
Thank you, Kayla. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. My name is Juan Macias, and I'm the CEO of Alpha Structure, a company that was created in 2019, a joint venture between Carlyle and Schneider Electric. At Alpha Structure, we design, build, own, and operate behind-the-meter energy systems. So very excited to be introducing today the two finalists in the energy transition section of the program. Our first finalist is Enerkite, a company that produces power 24 hours a day through stratospheric wind. So very excited to hear their presentation. Second, we have MFC, multi-fuel conversion solution, together with Fraunhofer Institute, and that is taking solid waste to clean energy through a fuel cell technology. So looking forward to hearing the presentations, and congratulations to both.
Thank you, Juan, so much for joining us on this program from the United States. Schneider and Carlyle, obviously some of the biggest industry players out there. But let's move on to our pitches in the category of energy transition. And first up is an old friend of mine, Alexander, and he is harvesting energy from stratospheric wind power. Alexander, take it from here.
Hello, Julien. Hello, Juan. Thank you for the introduction and thank you for having us. My name is Alexander Bormann. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Enerkite, a Berlin-based startup which provides global access to dependable, clean energy. And yes, we do this with fully automated kite systems which fly high above the blade tips of two-day wind turbines. And they harness twice as much energy per power installed compared to conventional wind turbines at half the cost. This overcomes our customers' pain and of the volatile nature of renewable energy. Because there is no sun in the night and even wind is not persistent enough, our technology provides unique capacity factors because our choice is to have very lightweight wings and control them only from the ground with 3 tethers, do the movements and do the energy conversion. And the landing and the launching is provided by a unique rotational mast system, which we recently proved the concept. After 1,000 hours of testing and 1,000 hours of landing and launching automatically, we are now ready to bring this solution in terms of a function prototype to our customers. Customers which tackle the challenge to change diesel into carbon-free electricity in the mining sector, or to power islands, or provide for the rural electrification. And last but not least, a vast growing sector of standalone supercharging capabilities for the electromobility sector. Just one single container of our Enerkite can charge up to 50 electrical cars per day with an additional range of 200 kilometers. The market we enter is as big as 13 gigawatts, which equals 130,000 units per year. And this brings the proof to scale up this technology into the megawatt scale. Here, the energy turnaround is made into, in terms of providing a solution which can save up to 1% of our global greenhouse gas emissions per year at a cost of electricity of less than 3 cents per kilowatt hour. Our business model focuses on the engineering, innovation, and the software. We sell solutions to our customers, and we provide full service with our activities in the maintenance and after-sales sector. The production and assembly itself is done with industry partners, and the power production as well. So far, we have raised about 9 million euros, almost spent, and we are raising another 11, where we secured already 4 million for scale up and piloting and the industrialization and growth of the company. We want to become profitable in 2024, and we want to achieve 115 million euro sales turnover in 2026. There's an upscale and exit strategy established for our investors. So come and fly high with Enerkite. Invest into an award-winning team and a patented technology. Invest in piloting and in a market entry of a scalable solution. Each euro invested saves 1 ton of CO2. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Alexander, so much. This is a truly inspiring story, because if you think of getting into the hardware clean tech market right now, let me tell you, it takes a long time and a lot of conviction and a lot of resilience to make it to this point. And we have known Enerkite for the last few years, and has been really, really rough to get to this point and get people continuously excited about the technology. And now to actually see the kite fly, and I just want one, like for our islands here, I see around me in Bali kites all over the place. So why not harness that energy to produce clean electricity around the clock? So well done. Let's go back to Juan for your Q&A session. We're super excited about your questions.
First question for you. What is the difference between your wind system and standard wind systems on the ground?
With Enerkite, we can have offshore wind conditions at any land spot globally. So we bring the reliability of offshore wind onshore and produce the electricity directly where there is the demand. Even a small wind turbine of just 100 kilowatt can reach 300 meters altitude easily. It saves 90% of steel and concrete. It is highly portable and is flexible and easy to dismantle.
Are there any limitations, problems with air transit, air patterns, for example?
We see less conflicts coming with airspace use than conventional wind turbines, because we can detect the airspace with our radar and transponder technology and can hide or land the kite when there is demand by an aircraft or another airspace user.
When it comes to your solution, can I have more than one kite system at one location? Or is there a risk for the units to get tangled in the air?
Of course, the solution is easily stackable with a distance of about 150 to 180 meters between each containers. There's enough space to land and launch individually, and then to fly in an orchestrated way, because all the control systems are linked with each other.
What investor partner would be the perfect one for you right now?
The perfect investor is a strategic investor which provides smart money and has a long breath to launch the market activities, and also can provide for the growth of the company in 2 to 3 years.
Do you have any pilot projects lined up at present? And tell us a little bit about your growth strategy.
Sure, we are in constant dialogues with customers, and the requirements drive our designs. There is NG, Storengy, EX, Toit, and wind power developers from Germany, ready to go with the functional prototypes. There are more than 5 units sold already and shall be shipped end of next year.
Thanks, Alexander, for a great pitch. Now for a little bit of role swapping. Let's invite Julien back on, but this time to talk to us about MFC and the Fraunhofer Institute.
Thank you, Kayla, so much. I'm here to introduce one of our portfolio companies called MFC and Fraunhofer. And I do that because the mission of this company is so absolutely deeply important to me. With more and more people, there's more and more waste in this world. That means there are more and more resources that are totally non-utilized. that end up on landfills, that end up in the ocean, and really have become one of the largest challenges to humanity of the 21st century. We live here in a place like Bali, for example, where you can see trash on the sidewalks, where people are burning crops with plastic mixed into them. It actually smokes up the entire village. MFC and the team around Mickey Hofmeister is developing for the last decade a small-scale waste-to-energy solution that uses high-temperature gasification to convert solid carbons into synthesis gas. This gas can then be used for power generation, thermal applications, or used to produce biochar that can be used as a fertilizer. This solution is so important because currently only large cities with large infrastructures and large budgets are generally able to convert their waste into something useful. But any place like this, any island, currently does not have solutions available to treat this waste and turn it into something really useful. After 12 years of development, we're now at the point where the process is so stable, highly government funded and tested, that we can go one step further. And this is why MFC has partnered up with Fraunhofer Institute IKTS to use solid oxide fuel cells to convert their synthesis gas into clean electricity as efficiently as technically possible. So now we're not only reducing the amount of waste in a clean, non-harmful way, but we're producing electricity as effectively, cheaply, and on a very small scale than it was ever possible before. And this is why it's so important for me to pitch to you today the future of MFC that has built a groundbreaking industrial product that will change the world. But they cannot do it without the support of distribution partners, additional investors, research partners to take this technology out of the laboratory and bring it to global markets. Thank you.
Thanks, Julien. What a technology solving such an important problem. Let's turn it over to Juan to ask a couple questions.
Where does the company stand on bringing to the market a commercial product?
Thank you, Juan. This is a great question. And we know each other for quite a long time working on this solution. We're now at the point where the university testing is pretty much done. And we have proven the point that the new reactor design can not only convert waste into clean gas, but at the same time it reduces the clinkers, which are a byproduct of high temperature waste conversion, very effectively within the process. And that makes it a lot smaller, cheaper, simpler to build small scale waste to energy solutions. So with the new government grants that already have been approved, over the next 12 months, the first generation of the small waste to energy generator can be brought to global markets, treating waste wherever it's needed right now.
What are the proposed target markets for your product?
Excellent question, Juan. One of the key challenges we have is that there's so much waste in the world, and we really want to be everywhere, right? We want to solve all these problems for all the people that are suffering from pollution. Is it ocean waste? Is it farm waste? Where to start? But we have to make that decision. So the very first waste streams we're tackling right now is agricultural waste that has been contaminated by plastic, for example, packaging materials. We're also working on sewage sludge right now, which we think is a major, major challenge on a global level. And we're looking to bring our solutions first to developing countries that really need them first. So we work with Tata on India, for example. We work in the Philippines, work in Indonesia. We think our first target markets are small communities that need waste treatment now.
What type of investor partner are you looking for at this stage of your company?
MFC has been very, very lucky that it's multi-funded by the German government. So the product development pretty much is done and funded for the next 2 years. We're very, very thankful to the German Ministry of Economics for their ongoing support in bringing this product to market. But now the time has come to scale the product in global markets. And so we're looking for distribution partners. We're also looking for investors that are willing to invest in the future and growth of the product. And we're looking for companies with technical market access that can do commissionings, financing on site for this project, because every waste stream in the world is different. There are different permitting, regulation things that we need to check while we bring the product to local markets. And so we're looking for a multitude of different partners, but putting enough cash and a big partner into there is definitely one of our prime focuses.
Well, thanks again for the presentations. Wish you all the best and good luck.
Our next host is Anna Tessot, a powerhouse in the transport industry, joining us from Paris. Anna is an engineer with a background in battery development and has the largest segment today at the EX Cleantech Venture Night, as she's hosting the category of electric mobility.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you for the introduction. So I'm Anna. I work for Alliance Ventures, that is the corporate venture capital arm of Nissan, Renault, and Mitsubishi Motors. Very happy to be here and to introduce the electrification section.
Thank you, Anna, so much for being on the program, and we're super excited about the electric vehicle category. Obviously, a lot going on here. First off is Chris and his company, HeyCharge from Munich. Chris, take it from here.
Thank you very much. Charging is expensive. We can deliver a charging system for an apartment building at a cost of about 300 euros per parking space. That's a 10x improvement over the competition. We're very, very excited about that. And right now, if you live in an apartment building in Europe, you probably just can't charge at home. And that is a problem. An electric car that you can charge at home is awesome. One that you can't is a drag. 42% of Europe lives in an apartment building, so this is not an academic problem. We estimate that solving this problem at scale could increase the adoption curve of EVs by 10% or more across Europe. This is actually a personal story. The founders of HeyCharge, myself included, experienced exactly this when bringing our first electric cars home. And we realized the solutions today resembled 1970s style analog phone wires. Basically, it's a wire from every apartment's meter to every parking space in the building. That's not efficient, and we recognize that much like analog phone networks, we can improve efficiency and flexibility with a digital and network-based alternative. So that was the birth of HeyCharge. We started off, actually, it was a bit of a historical story. We started off as a purely software platform. We were focusing on the billing and access control management for chargers in apartment buildings. And we basically found two problems with our first MVP. The first was we realized we couldn't basically reimburse property owners for electricity. In Germany, the paperwork, the revenue generated way too much bookkeeping hassle. So we've added a model where we can now sell electricity directly from our own meter. It's a fully managed model. But getting back to my introduction, cost. When we first built our MVP, we were relying on third-party hardware. Very, very expensive. We recognized the real problem to solve was going to be cost. We found ways to remove cost all through the product. And basically, we can get the cost down to a 10-year lifetime cost of 300 euros per charger. The total cost of ownership of our competition is about 3,000 euros per parking space, and that might not be a lot by for today's standards for a Tesla driver, an early EV adopter. But this is a product for EVs becoming a mass market phenomenon. And but once there's a 15,000 euro EV, a 3,000 euro charging system is going to seem like a lot of money, and we think there's a big market for a much cheaper alternative. That's about it.
Thank you, Chris, so much for your pitch. Let's go straight into the Q&A and our questions from Anna.
Thank you, Chris, for the pitch. So a few questions on my side. Question number one, how is HeyCharge cheaper than the competition?
Okay, well, we basically reimagined what a high-scale, low-cost charging solution would look like. And we did that at every level of the product. So first of all, we're relying on what's called Mode 2 charging. that reuses the charging cable that comes with the car. So we're eliminating a lot of redundancy where you buy the same component twice in the wall box as in the cable that came with the car. The second topic is we focus on low power charging. Now that's kind of inherent in a Mode 2 charging solution, but that actually has cost and complexity savings throughout the product hardware and installation flow. But the biggest topic, and the one that we're the most proud of, is that we've invented a proprietary technology that we call Secure Charge. And that takes the requirement for an infrastructure communications link out of the system. That reduces further our operating costs, that reduces our installation cost and complexity, and it even has some really interesting effect on the user experience, which is that our mobile app works wherever the user is, whether or not there's a mobile network. For a product that's going to go into underground parking garages where there frequently is no mobile network, this is a huge enabler.
Okay, question number 2. What are the markets and what is HeyCharge going for right now in terms of, markets and use cases?
So we're focusing in the beginning very specifically on apartment buildings in Europe, but the underlying product and technology has a lot of really interesting applications globally. So a few ideas, for example, with volume, I can get the product down to a hardware cost of below 20 euros. And I have a manufacturer lined up for that already. And that gets to be really interesting when we talk about, for example, charging e-scooters in low-cost markets. There's even a product version that I can do very easily with the existing software we've built, where we put it into the form of a smart plug. And that's an installation-free scenario. It's kind of perfect for a peer-to-peer ad hoc scenario where, for example, a neighbor wants to sell power to his neighbor to charge his scooter. Another market that we're looking at, for example, is vacation rentals. We think that electric vehicle charging is going to be very in demand for vacation rentals. And of course, property owners, property managers are going to want to be able to account for and be compensated for the electricity used. So there's really a wide variety of things we can do with this product.
Okay, so thank you. What are the next steps for your company and what are you looking right now?
I think we're at the most exciting part of the startup right now in that we have a few pilot customers on our original architecture, but we are just about to get our sample hardware for our new low-cost scale product. So that's going to be going through certification over the next couple of months. We're starting a funding round to basically drive our scaling and marketing activities. And of course, we'd like to go into some of those new markets that I discussed in the previous question.
Thank you, Chris. What a great pitch, and thank you, Anna. We're moving on to Walid, who is in the very early stage of his software company, but we thought it is so incredible what you guys are doing and so impactful that we really wanted to have you on this program, even though you initially said it might be a little bit early for an investment. But I think your solution is ready to be scaled over the next coming years, and I really hope that we're going to find the right partner for you. Walid, please take it from here.
Hello, Julian. Thank you for having me. Also, my name is Walid Sahari. I am the CEO of the BWS E-Mobility Technologies GmbH. What is BWS E-Mobility? BWS E-Mobility Technologies GmbH is a German startup company which is specialized on electric powertrain design with focus on multi-objective optimization. Also, BWS is using the most evolved artificial intelligence algorithms such as genetic algorithms to design, search, construct, optimize an immense number of powertrain combinations, enabling the user to have the overlook at all electric powertrain components at each supplier worldwide. The reusing of the optimized powertrain components will reduce the development costs and accelerate the market avenue. Billions of powertrain combinations, which differ in cost, efficiency, performance, consumption, and other powertrain design objectives, are designed, simulated, analyzed, and optimized by our tool, enabling the user to build up the most optimized powertrain system. Furthermore, the powertrain design tool of BWS E-Mobility Technologies is a multi-physics tool. That means it covers the whole development process. At the same time, It considers the different physical domains, such as electric, mechanic, aerodynamic, and thermic. This will enormously simplify and accelerate the development process and offer the user an all-in-one solution, reducing the cost of the needed tools and hence the demand of adapting and interfacing. The automated design process is a very important milestone in our roadmap, but it is not the last one. Then we are now about to complete it on modular, scalable, and overall optimized platform. In other words, we want to build and manufacture a rolling chassis which can be directly used from different OEM and for different vehicle segments at the same OEM. This will accelerate the car manufacturing process to 50% and reduce the development cost up to 60%, realizing our vision of affordable innovation. Not only startups can benefit from the amazing features of our powertrain design and manufacturing platform, but also the well-established OEMs. Our pre-configured, pre-tested, and approved solutions can be directly used at the end user and mass producer. Okay.
I think, Vali, this is really, really incredible stuff. If you think about that, your AI-based configurator is going to look at these billions of different possible configurations in powertrain and chassis design at some point. And I imagine a future, and I think I'm not the only one, where there are going to be so many different, autonomous vehicle and warehouses for deliveries all over the place. And your technology is going to make it able and possible to develop those solutions a lot faster, a lot cheaper, and a lot more customized. If you have a certain need for your little robot, you press the button and your software will come up with the best personal solution. This is at least how I understood it, and it's really, really exciting. But back to you, Anna. What are your questions?
Okay, thank you, Walid, for the pitch. So you're not the only company that is designing and developing electric powertrains. So what makes your product different from the others?
Okay, we know that it's very challenging to assert ourselves on the market. But on the other hand, we know that we have the academical and practical capability to do it. Then we have the long-standing know-how and the solid experience, the perfect vision, and the two basic ideas of our business model, namely the applied artificial intelligence and the electric mobility, are very precious now.
Question number 2, what are your short-term and longer-term plans for the company?
Our short-term plan is to release the first commercial version of our powertrain design tool system at the beginning of 2021. And our long-term plan is to close the loop of our software tool on a flexible, modular, and scalable hardware platform of electric powertrain, namely rolling chassis.
Which kind of company do you want to be? Would you offer service, software, or hardware solutions?
So we don't want to be the car manufacturer, and we don't want to be the traditional component supplier, but we aim to play the interstation between the both. So we will offer the multi-objective optimized electric powertrain platform.
What would your partner or investor look like for your company?
It is different. They can be, for example, OEMs. They can be, for example, supplier. They can use startups who would like to enter the market as quick as possible. In this case, we can offer them the platform that will accelerate the market avenue by at least 50%.
Thank you, Anna. This is such an exciting category in electric mobility. And there's an idea that I saw in Germany a few years ago about solar integrated electric mobility. And me coming from northern Germany where the sun almost never shines, I thought it was kind of a crazy idea for Germany. But we do want to see this for our markets here in Indonesia. It's going to make a major, major difference. But enough from me. Let's hear directly from the CEO of Sono Motors what makes your company so special. Take it from here.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren and CEO and co-founder of Sono Motors. And I brought today 3 points. First is electric vehicles have the biggest hurdle of price, range, and infrastructure. Those 3 things are the reason why electric vehicles are not yet in the mass market. And this is exactly what we do at Sono Motors. Our mission is to be the leader for convenient solar-powered mobility. And we founded in 2016 this company with the vision to build a world without fossil fuels, to make individual mobility truly sustainable and affordable. The product we sell? Well, there are 3 products we do. First is the Stein, an electric vehicle, family-sized van with solar integration. With every car we sell, we make income through CO2 pooling. And the third product we sell is the world-leading solar technology we have developed, which we also license for third party to use it in train, trucks, even boats. The USPs of our technology is one major thing. It's convenience. You have convenience through solar integration, so you have to less recharge and less depend on charging infrastructure. Through the solar integration, we have the lowest TCO globally for an electric vehicle because of the affordable entry price of 21,000 K, the solar range, and sharing ready. We have a low complexity asset-light manufacturing strategy which is the major difference between us and Tesla, us and Volkswagen, and which makes this so unique and affordable. Well, but who's behind Sono? Well, I founded a company with my co-founder together, and we started in a garage building the first prototype by hand. And by now, it grew up to 400 people working on this project. And we gained, very high-class German engineering partners like Continental, Bosch, Ehringer, who make this product so great. From an execution point of view, we are riding right now the wave of exponentially growing EV market, where we see Tesla, we see NIO, we see Nikola Motors going through the roof. And we can show an order book of almost 13,000 down payments for this car, equivalent to 270 million revenues. And the last thing I want to say is we just closed the world's biggest crowdfunding campaign ever been made for a hardware product with 53 million euros in January 2020. So to sum it up, I think we have the best product to solve the problem of range, price, and infrastructure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I really love the story about all these pre-orders and this massive crowdfunding campaign in hardware. Most people say if you crowdfund, you need to have a product people are willing to buy. But generally, they're not talking about a 20,000 euro car. They're talking about, like a little 3D printer or something like that. So a very, very different ballpark. So it is incredible how your company has been able to motivate your base of supporters and fans to kind of give you this capital and traction to now build a real major automobile company out of this. But enough from me. Anna, back to you. What are your questions?
Thank you, Lauren, for the pitch. So what makes your solar technology different than anyone else?
This is very simple to answer. It's lighter, it's cheaper, and it's more robust than any comparable technology on the market. Basically, what we have done is we have developed this technology for the automotive market, which has the hardest requirements for a product on Earth. And we developed this technology for the automotive market, but now it turns out this technology is also interesting for trucks, trains, buses, boats, even airplanes, because it has so much advantages.
So how are you specifically planning to disrupt the automotive industry?
The main reasons why electric vehicles are not in a mass market yet, and we don't have a disruption there yet, is because of price, range, and infrastructure of electric vehicles. And with design, we have developed an electric vehicle which is solving exactly those 3 points to get electric vehicles into the mass market.
So what is Sono Motors' focus over the next, say, 12 to 24 months? And are you looking for partners or to help you?
So the main focus for the next 6 months is the next prototype, or the last prototype before we go into production, which will be launched end of this year. For the next 12 to 18 months, we are scaling up production and bring the sign into mass production to produce 50,000 vehicles per year. We're looking for a partner which is scaling up with us this business and is also enhancing our technology in other areas on this planet. Because right now we focus very much on Europe, but we see great potential for the US, and we see great potential also for China.
Thank you guys from Sono Motors for the incredible technology made in Germany. We're super excited of seeing it soon on the roads in Indonesia as well. Moving on, thank you, Anna. We're talking to Molabo, and Florian is on the line and he's going to give us the pitch about the 48-volt motor. Take it from here, Florian.
Julien, thanks a lot for the kind introduction. We're at Molabo here, and we have developed a new kind of electric drive that operates at 48 volts and delivers powers of up to 300 kilowatts. We do this because we believe that it is clear that the future of mobility is going to be electric, but we still need to reduce the costs of electric drives, improve their efficiency and their range, and still guaranteeing a safe and reliable operation. Our intelligent Stator cage drive technology, in short ISCAT, achieves significant improvements in all of these areas. The way we achieve it is by removing the copper threads that typically form the electric wiring of an electric motor, and we replace them by solid rods of aluminum or copper, and thereby we reduce the complexity of manufacturing greatly. And in addition, we are thereby capable of delivering this high power at this low voltage. It's important to know that 48 volt lies below the threshold of safe-to-touch operation, and therefore no safety measures needs to be taken in order to assure a safe operation, maintenance, and even decommissioning of such a vehicle. Other electric drives today are operating at 400 volts or even up to 800 volts. And it is important to know that this voltage has not been chosen because it is best suited, but because it was most easily implemented starting from industry standards. We have taken a new look at what is the most efficient and what is the safest and best electric voltage for electric vehicles, and we have found it to be 48 volts. In the past few years, we have developed this technology from a purely prototypical stage into an almost industrialized product, and we are just finishing our first product that will be available for sale in end of 2020. And we decided to launch it as a boat drive for electric leisure boats up to a length of 24 meters. We have already developed a few demonstrator vehicles, starting with 2 cars and now with 1 boat. that is really hitting it up, and we're very happy to present it. And there is an awesome video available where you can take a look at what this kind of boat can already achieve. And starting from this market, we will expand into off-road vehicles, where we want to electrify agricultural applications, mining and construction applications, and further move into the automotive sector. In the automotive sector, we believe that we can greatly improve the financial viability of electric mobility, and therefore help its wide domination in the market of electric drive. So thanks a lot, and I'm looking forward to questions.
Thank you, Florian. And I really want to get one of these boats. If you could actually get us one over here, we'd really appreciate it. Anna, what are your questions to Molabo?
Thank you, Florian, for the pitch. So can you sum up why your motor solution is better than the other ones out there?
Sure. Our motor can be produced more cheaply in a very large scale because it can be automated very well, therefore reducing the waste rate that you typically have in production of electric motors greatly. And it can reduce the costs of ensuring high voltage safety all over the life cycle of this kind of electric motor, starting in the development phase, in the production phase, but also in maintenance and even in decommissioning. And therefore it is ideally suited for the future, which is purely electric.
Where are the next stages for you in the commercialization of the product?
Anna, thanks a lot for this question. We are just progressing into launching our first product for the leisure marine market, and it will be available by end of this year. And starting in mid next year, we will start first evaluations in the off-road sector before moving into automotive in 2023.
What would the perfect partner or investor look right now, and how could him or her make things much better?
Our perfect partner would be either a strategic partner helping us industrialize and develop this product for automotive standards, or an investor with a great network that can achieve connections to the people who can help us get this product on the market, especially for automotive.
Fantastic pitch. Thank you so much. And we're going to go straight on to Dresden to a company called Additives Drives and Jacob. Jacob, take it from here.
Hello, my name is Jacob. I'm from Dresden and I'm one of the founders of Additive Drives. We are printing copper with a 3D printer for electric machines. And we are making electric machines more cheaper and much more powerful, more cost effective and customizable. This paves the way completely for electric mobility for each variant you want. And we have the benefits. We can make the motor even more smaller. We can make the motor more compact and finally achieve a higher power density. Of course, all the projects along in electric mobility companies, they go even more faster with our technology. And this is the impression we got from our starting at the 1st of July this year, that we have the right idea at the right point in time. And we want this to get even bigger and to make it much more flexible, to use the digital technology with the 3D printing to create digital motors and produce it at the right time, just in the moment you designed it. And this gives a huge push to electric mobility all over the world. And we are working on this right now. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much. This was such a short, incredible pitch, but I think if we can achieve so many things in such a short time, why take all the 3 minutes? Anna, back to you for your questions.
Thank you, Jacob, for the pitch. You are a new company, so how do you see the development of the product across the next, say, 24 months?
The next 24 months, we will at least double our employees, and we want to increase the number of projects by the factor of 4. We have lots of requests at the moment, but we have to accelerate our whole process chain. So we have some processes in the chain of production that have to be shortened, that have to be more effective. And for this reason, we have to raise more investments to get this production chain really compact and completely digital.
Jacob, what would be the perfect partner and investor for your company?
Our perfect partner should have some knowledge of these companies or these business branches of electric mobility and to understand where are the problems at the moment. So there is some reason why some companies do not offer the right products at the moment, because the whole development chain is very long lasting for several years, and therefore lots of millions are wasted for development because it takes so much time to get the hardware from all the digital data. So we talk a lot about digitalization, but the point where we get the hardware is the most difficult point in the development chain. And we are just working on this. And our partner should have some understanding of this special situation. We are between the digital guys and the hardware. And this is a chain we want to close.
So talking about the mass reduction, roughly how much do you think you can reduce the mass of the electric powertrain?
We can make the motor as flat as possible. If you take, for example, such a volume for an electric drive motor, electric car drive, then we can reduce it probably by 30 or 40%, maintaining the power of the machine. This is why we can reduce the end turn of the motor so small as it can be. So there is no waste anymore of active parts of the motor. The whole volume is filled out with torque production. This is why we have the highest flexibility in production process. We use 3D printing. We can create anything via a CAD modeling and just push it to the machine, and the machine realize whatever we want. And this is our USP.
Thank you so much. And from printing copper, we're going to revolutionizing the world of inverters. Because without inverters, we're really going to have a major issue in transportation, but also in stationary battery storage to make our power supply 24/7 safer than it is right now. I was not aware that there's so much to be done, but I heard from Arthur here that this is just the beginning. We're super excited about your solution. Arthur, please take it from here.
Thank you for the kind introduction. So we at Stable want to set a new standard for battery storage systems. You know, if you look at an electric car like a Tesla or a Renault or BMW i3, you have a huge, monstrous battery pack with 400 volts, which has to be tamed. The 400 volts are lethal, they're life-threatening. Only specialized personnel may work on it. And this 400 volt battery does not exist. It's 4 volt lithium ion cells, which are chained to a long chain, 100 cells. And if a single cell has an issue, the car stops driving. What we do is we shorten this cell. We have modular power inverters and we use only shorter chains. Chains which are in a voltage which is safe. Everybody can touch it. Nothing bad will happen from it, and everybody can repair it or build up his or her own system. This also has the advantage that it's easier to manage, it's more flexible to build up, and it's more efficient. And if a single cell fails in a conventional system, the battery storage stands still. For us, if there is a failure, the module is being bridged, but the system continues to work. We want to first address the stationary market, which is around 10 billion euros, and we want also to go to electric vehicles later on in order to bring the most efficient battery storage systems to the market. We need battery storage to make green energy from solar and wind accessible to everyone. With our technology, it's possible to have better battery storage for everyone because it's cheaper and more efficient. Thank you.
Arthur, really, really interesting story, and thank you so much for sharing with us how inverters will play a larger role in energy transition and mobility in the future. Back to you, Anna, for some questions.
Okay, thank you, Arthur, for the pitch. So, a question about the maturity of your technology and where do you stand as a company? Are you already delivering a commercial product or are you still in R&D?
Yeah, so we have our first demonstrator at the site of a pilot customer, and we have started first to sell first customer systems or pilot systems. Next year, we want to enter the market with a certified product. We are addressing right now only the stationary market, but we are open for projects in electromobility and also for fast charging of cars.
So what do you estimate cost-wise? Would you be cheaper than the other solutions that are out there in the market?
We estimate that we can be around 20 to 25% cheaper as the current solutions on the market because we have lower requirements on auxiliary electronics and higher efficiency, which also decreases OPEX, operating costs.
Okay. What would your perfect partner or investor look like?
Yeah, good question. The perfect investor and partner would want to go with us the way to a more sustainable future. So what we're thinking right now is you have electric cars and the market for electric cars is growing like crazy. You will have 10 times more batteries in electric cars than you will be using in stationary storage. But the batteries from electric cars today, they're just disposed or put on a garbage dump or recycled when they reach 80% of their nominal capacity. With our technology, it's super easy to reuse them, to build up a big system with used batteries. And we can use the batteries until they are really chemically destroyed. And that would be a huge advantage in one, cost for batteries, but also in resource usage. So our goal is to put big giga batteries where today conventional power plants are standing, like old coal plants and nuclear power plants, because there you have the infrastructure you need, and there the grid has to be stabilized, which could be perfectly done with big battery storage systems.
Thank you so much. And the next company we're presenting is actually still in the prototype phase, but we think it's such an interesting concept because it shows how German engineering can solve a problem in Bali. And so we're going to hear from Balinese entrepreneur and inventor Iwan how Manure is going to change personal transportation in Indonesia. Iwan, take it from here.
Thank you very much, Julien. This is Manure, a solar-powered electric vehicle that combines the comfort and safety of a car and the flexibility of a two-wheel scooter. At Manure, we believe that transportation should be safer, cleaner, and most important, affordable. In Indonesia, one of the most populated countries in the world, we travel and transport everything by scooter. Most of them are internal combustion. If current trends continue, congestion, air pollution, and traffic fatalities will continue to rise. But most people cannot afford a car, let alone an electric one. Manure is a 100% solar-powered solution that needs no fuel for daily commute and has zero emissions. It is fully enclosed, comes with safety belt, airbags, and climate control to keep you safe and comfortable and protected from the weather and pollution. Yet, it's small enough to get you through traffic. It can not only transport people, it can also be used for package and food delivery. We want to transform mobility, not only for families, but also for ride-sharing and logistic companies. Manure will help to reduce air pollution and improve road safety. Our first prototype was developed here in Bali. We are now partnering with German companies such as Fraunhofer and Sono to make our vehicles safe, almost 100% recyclable, light, and powered by the sun. You might never have to charge again. We are looking for seed investment. Our team has estimated a budget of $2.5 million for the next 2 years to bring the product to market. My name is Iwan, and I'm the co-founder of Manure. We want to bring sustainable mobility to everyone. Let's work together to fulfill this vision. Thank you.
Thank you, Iwan. This is really a truly inspiring story. And for full disclosure, it's also one of the projects we're involved with as EX Venture, because we really believe that there's a massive need, but also market opportunity to make transportation safer, more fun and cleaner, and overall solar powered in Indonesia. It would make a massive difference. But enough from me. Anna, what are your questions?
Thank you, Iwan, for the pitch. So why is your vehicle unique?
Our vehicle presents disruptive and yet simple innovation. We have reimagined the sitting position. The driver's seat is hanging from the roof. Thanks to this, the passenger has more leg space and sits comfortably. And the opening in the door, it's quite innovative. It allows the driver to put out the foot at a stop position. And when the driver is ready to go, he simply puts the foot back inside and the cabin remains fully enclosed. As it is fully covered, we can use the full potential to integrate solar panels. So there's no range anxiety anymore. And we believe that we can tap into the market of four-wheel customers who are looking for comfort and safety, and also the two-wheel customer who are looking for speed and flexibility.
What have you achieved and what are your next steps?
We have made our first prototype in Bali. We are forming a team. We have a cluster in Germany with partners at Fraunhofer and Sono, and we have applied for German government grant. Our plan is to bring the product to market, to start manufacturing in 2 years, first in Indonesia, then Southeast Asia, and then in the rest of the world.
In the future, do you see Manure as an autonomous vehicle?
Manure is built for bumper-to-bumper heavy traffic. In urban settings, I think human still makes a more efficient decision. And for now, human brain processing is still cheaper than AI. And our mission is to make our vehicle affordable to make a bigger impact.
Thank you very much. And let's move on to Lilium Aviation's. Remo is here to present this incredible German tech company. Take it from here.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for having us. Super exciting. What is Lilium? At Lilium, we're trying to save you time. I actually joined the company over 3 years ago now, and what's so exciting about Lilium is we're not trying to disrupt something, but we're actually trying to innovate on a completely new mode of transportation. We're building an aircraft that can take off and land vertically. It's fully electric, so fully on battery powered charges that can fly up to 4 passengers in about an hour, 300 kilometers. With that, we think we can revolutionize how mobility is going to work in the future. And what do I mean by that? We can take off and land vertically. That means we can access city center locations. We can take off and land on top of car parks, at airports, on top of train stations one day, and move people and creating a travel opportunity to move people from, let's say, Munich to Stuttgart in somewhere like 20-25 minutes. What's revolutionary around it is really the aircraft design on its own, the ability to fly these types of distance, the ability to also control this very difficult maneuver of vertical takeoff and landing, but then also transitioning with our aircraft design into forward flight, the ability to travel the distance in the first instance, and last but not least as well, what we created with this aircraft, an incredibly low noise transportation solution through the air. What do I mean by that? The aircraft consists of 36 engines, and they're all what you call ducted fans. And the revolutionary thing around that is that through the technology that we built around that, we created an aircraft that can fit into today's city noise regulations. So we're really having an opportunity here to rethink about mobility. How do we want to be connected? How does an entire region want to be connected? How do we connect not just between the biggest cities with large-scale manufacturing, with large-scale infrastructure projects, but how do we really connect anywhere you want to go with anywhere else? To give you an example, let's talk about Bavaria, Munich. Our home office is based just outside of Munich, and let's think about that whole region. So not only can we connect Munich and Frankfurt or Munich and Stuttgart, but we can start connecting Ingolstadt, Regensburg, Freiburg, all sorts of other places with 300 kilometers per hour connectivity. That is actually faster than a high-speed train. And what's fascinating is it's going to be fully electric. It's going to have a very low impact on the footprint. But also the infrastructure that is needed to do this is minimal. So we're talking about less than 1% of traditional high-speed transportation infrastructure. In fact, we looked at lots of different opportunities already around the world, and you can build a landing location for as little as 2 or 3 million euros, or you can scale that up if you want to create major transportation hubs for millions of passengers per year into the 10s, 20, 30 million. With that, we're building the service, we're building the whole ecosystem around it, we're bringing the aircraft to life, and then hopefully you will be flying fully electric at some point before 2025 through the air and experience a completely new mode of mobility. We hope we're going to win, of course. This competition will be fascinating. Otherwise, it's also be great to see all of the other opportunities and ideas that are out there. Thank you very much.
Very, very cool pitch. Let's hand it right back over to Anna for her questions.
So thank you, Remo. Thank you, Remo, for the pitch. And why do you want to focus on regional mobility?
It's very simple. We want to create a customer benefit. And when you actually look at very much inner city traffic, we studied it. And below 20 kilometers, we really don't think that we can save people a lot of time. Because at the end of the day, you still need to go to a place and take off and then land somewhere else. And you have that first and the last mile. So what we looked at is that's why we designed our aircraft to be up to 300 kilometers range. We looked at the end-to-end customer journeys and just seen that this is where we can save people time, and this is how we can offer them a price point that is meaningful and competitive versus other modes of transport.
The jet. What's unique about the aircraft and the benefit of having 36 motors?
Okay, what's unique? Lots of things are unique. Not many aircraft, if you look out there, can take off vertically. Not many aircraft out there are fully electric. Not many aircraft are even possible, right? So lots of things are very, very unique about it. There's also no aircraft out there today that can do what we call transition flights. And I think that the point about that is once you've taken off vertically and being able to fly forward, the forward flight takes about 1/10 of the energy than the takeoff and landing and the pure hover. And that's one of the big difference versus a sort of traditional drone concept, which continuously has to, through the propellers, stay up in the air. It just consumes a lot more energy than when you can transition forward and fly like a traditional aircraft. And of course, why 36? 36 it's an interesting number. That's engineering that sits behind, right? So kind of finding the optimal trade-off between what works as an architecture, what works aerodynamically, what works in terms of power balancing. And the reason why we can do that today is, of course, because it is fully electric, because electric motors work very different than combustion engine motors, maybe are like 3 magnitudes simpler than kind of like previous technologies. It enables these types of aircraft with multi-motor types of setup where we can much better optimize for what we're trying to achieve. And that is to transport as many payload or people as possible for as long a distance as possible, as fast as possible.
When and where are you going to launch the service?
Our goal is before 2025, we will be operational in several places around the world. We are actually looking at some of the most Western, European, US, advanced economies that we're looking at. We're in discussions around the world with a number of different launch ecosystems. What we said is we want to achieve certification with the European agency and the US agency to really achieve the highest standard. And that gives us the ability to launch pretty much anywhere in the world. We haven't yet announced it. Maybe by the time this is aired, some more glimpses are coming out. But certainly by the end of the year, more clarity will be seen where exactly the first networks are going to be launched. But of course, it's highly confidential at this point in time.
And as my last question to you, what are the next steps for Lilium? And are you still looking for partners and investors? And how can we work with you?
Yeah, we will continue to raise money. We're looking always for great partners that really understand the inevitability of this opportunity. So being able to fly directly from city center to city center, fully electric, when you look at the market potential, it is a big mission. It is not a sort of quick job and a quick scale-up job. So it's a really deep tech opportunity. So we're looking for partners, investors to come in with real conviction to understand like there is a tremendous opportunity that is down the road. For people to come in that understand there is also very deep tech barriers of entry further down the line. So first mover advantages here are crucial, but also it has to have a long-term perspective in it. So very happy to have conversations with people that take that perspective and are interested in either operating with us or building infrastructure or indeed investing in it.
So thank you for all the pitches, the great companies that presented today, and best of luck from Paris.
And finally, we have Renat Hoiberger, who I had the pleasure of meeting in person a couple weeks back here in beautiful Bali. Renat was an early pioneer in the clean tech industry and is now involved predominantly with carbon offsetting and investment with his company, South Pole.
Thank you very much, Kayla. Thanks for having me in this exciting show. My name is Renat Hoiberger, CEO of South Pole. South Pole, a climate change company, 100% involved in the topic of impact. And impact is the topic of our last category. Very clearly, without creating impact, we cannot achieve a sustainable development. And I'm sure impact creation is the answer to the global crisis we face, be it a pandemic, be it a climate crisis, or be it the quest for renewable energy. And in the space of renewable energy are also the three companies we are discussing right now. The candidates we are having tonight is, on the one side, Africa Green Tech. We also have Boreal Light. And last but not least, we have Ecoligo. Julien will now continue and introduce these three exciting startups. Julien, floor is yours again.
Thank you so much, Renat, for joining us from beautiful Zurich, Switzerland. We miss you here in Bali, but obviously there's a lot of work for you to be done in Switzerland as well. This category, impact, is so important because this is ultimately what it's all about. And there's some companies like Africa Green Tech we have been watching for so long, and we just hope that the EX platform is going to allow them to grow faster in many more countries and really fulfill the promise that this incredible team has made over the last few years. But enough from me. Let's go on to Wolfgang, who's joining us from Düsseldorf, Germany, and tell us about Africa Green Tech. Wolfgang, please take it from here.
Yeah, hi Julien. Thank you very much for the introduction. Happy to be here. Yeah, as you can see on this screen here, Africa Green Tech, I'm the co-founder and COO of the company. What we do is we bring solar energy to rural areas in Africa, and it's so easy. We have We have solar energy. It's almost for free in Africa. There's a lot of sun, and what we do is we bring this energy to the people and make it possible that they can develop themselves. And that's what we do. The company has been founded in 2016 by Thorsten and Ida Schreiber. Ida is from Mali and she's well connected there. That's why we know exactly what they need in these countries. And this enabled us to bring so far 20 impact sites into places, into the village in Mali and Niger. And until now, 25,000 people have gotten electricity from us. And what's even more important is that around about 420 small businesses have been founded based on the electricity, which really is quite important as it brings jobs and income into the villages. And that's really crucial for what we do, because we see that our business is really empowering people like Numakosa, which you can see here. And as he's lacking infrastructure and tools and electricity, he's not able to unfold his potential. And this is exactly what we are changing. If you just look at the cool chains today, 40% of the fruits and vegetables just goes to waste because there is no cool chain. And then you can imagine what tremendous potential of value creation is possible just based on energy. But what we do is not just bringing energy, we also bring a whole system, a whole a solution that comes also with a network. Of course, we have smart meters because the customers, they have to pay for the energy. It's not for free, but they have the money because we help them also to build their business. We bring a cool chain, we bring water purification, internet and water irrigation into the village, and this really pushes the village ahead. Our business model is we build the system, we find the right components, put them together and sell these components, this system. But of course, we also do the operations in some countries, especially in Mali and Niger, where we do really understand the conditions. But of course, when there is a community that says we want to have our own system, they can just buy it from us and we make sure that everything goes well. It's all plug and play, it's easy to use, and that's a good base for the scaling that's ahead of us. And it's quite important to understand that there's a huge potential which has been shown also by the World Bank in 2019. By 2030, they see a potential of 210,000 mini-grids. And as we are a pioneer in that market, we are quite sure that we can get a huge stake of that market. And that directly brings me to the question, how much funding do we need? In the current round, we are asking for about 10 million euros equity, 30 million euros debt, but also grants and sponsorship are highly welcomed because we have a huge sustainable effect on the people. But to be honest, on our desk, we have like 500 villages in 8 countries. So we could even use 250 million euros and spend this. The market is there. The only thing that's missing is the money. We know how to do it. We know what to do. The system works. We have the people on the ground, 70 people like now in Mali and Niger. So it's open for scaling. Thanks for your time, Julien. I'm happy to answer your questions now.
Thank you, Wolfgang. This was really an incredible pitch, and I can't emphasize enough how important it is to give these people the funding to really deploy enough units to rural Africa. If you want to become the leading decentralized power provider in Africa and leapfrog the entire infrastructure that we built over the last 100 years in other countries, this is your chance. But enough for me. Let's go back to Renat for your Q&A.
So Wolfgang, first question. Why are you going into regions where nobody else is going?
Well, actually, one of the main reasons is because we can, and we know the market. I mentioned that Ida is from Mali, and we have the networks there, which is quite important. Another thing is, you can imagine that there's not so much competition now, right now. And another argument is just the potential is that big. We have a better impact. I mean, we are impact driven, and the poorer the country is, the higher is the impact. So that really drives us, and that's what we can do in these countries perfectly.
Our next question. Wolfgang, why is your technology and your business model scalable on your targeted market?
What I mentioned already in the pitch was that our system is plug and play. The product is really proven in harsh conditions. It's not just a container that has been somehow rebuilt. It's a specially built construction for the situation in the sub-Sahara. So it's a really plug and play system. It comes with the batteries. It's all included. The modules are there. That's one thing. The second thing is we have people on the ground. They are well educated, so we can just scale the team. There are so many smart people in the countries. We just have to educate them. It's quite easy for us to do the remote control. I mentioned that we are able to offer also internet services. We have a satellite connection between our headquarters in Germany and the systems everywhere. So we know exactly what temperature which battery has. This remote control and remote maintenance capabilities also reduce the costs. So we have the market access. We know the presidents. We have villages that are asking for the systems. The only thing that is really needed is money. That's all.
Great. Wolfgang, last question. Where is your company going next, and how can an investor get involved, even with a smaller ticket?
Renat, thank you very much for that good question. There are many options to invest in our company. First of all, you could invest in our mother company, which holds the intellectual properties, but that's one thing. But the second thing is you could invest in the subsidiaries and local organizations, the operation companies. And here again, you can decide if you want to go into equity and be part of that hockey stick effect that we see after 10 or 15 years when the system is paid and the sun shines for free. So this is really the hockey stick case, which is quite interesting, but takes some more time. Or you can invest in the solar container, which has less risk because the system is mobile. So if a village doesn't work, we can just put it somewhere else. There is a revenue stream that comes into the impact side. So this is an option. Or if you really would like to help people and have measurable SDG effects, you could also, of course, give us some grants, which is then used for the network and the smart meters in the villages. And as I mentioned already, the market is huge. 210,000 mini grids by the end of 2030 can be built. We are as a pioneer in the forefront of that development. So I can imagine that 10% of that market should not be an issue for us to gain it. So in the end, the sky's the limit. The need is endless. We can deliver the systems. It's done. It's plug and play. It's easy. We just need the money.
Thank you, Wolfgang, so much for this excellent pitch and keep making such a big difference in Africa. And we're going to stay in Africa with another company, Boreal Light, who are providing clean drinking water to rural Africa. Hamed, please take it from here.
Hello, this is Hamed from Boreal Light. We are doing solar water desalination system for delivering affordable and hygiene, drinking, irrigation, fish farm and sanitation water to the most remote part of Africa. Our solution, we were looking for delivering a system that is simple and affordable and running entirely on solar energy. No need for battery, no need for grid. It's just being self-independent. So we spent 2 years of our time delivering this machine and then also developing a business model around it. So the machine, as I said, is a simplified reverse osmosis system capable of getting water directly from ocean, from brackish water, boreholes, whatever kind of polluted water, and producing then the water that is good for drinking. Then we process it for irrigation, we process it for fish farm, and at last we deliver water for wash purposes, for sanitation. The business model we have created around the machine, which is, as I said, simple and affordable system, and 80% of its maintenance is just done by a wrench and a screwdriver. You need nothing else. Just the normal people, a normal plumber in a village can easily do this maintenance for the machine, and then the water produced by the machine then costs nothing more than 50 cents per cubic meter. You have water coming from the ocean, and this is the delivered water at the end, and the cost of this water production is nothing more than 50 cents. So the business model we created around this 50 cent per cubic meter water is the business model of delivering water to locals in a refill system, and also delivering water to villagers, to farmers, for their crops, for the farms they have, for the fish farms that we are setting up. This way, we are taking care about the investment. We are taking, and a lot of time also co-investment with the villages, and then we deliver water to them, affordable water, and we share the revenue of the farm with the farmers. We deliver them water, they do the work, then we share the revenue from the crops we are growing there. The same for the fish farm. This business is a business model in two aspects: circular economy and social impact, social business. So the entire revenue of the project is reinvested in the village, and there is no waste. Even the wastewater of the system, that every desalination system has wastewater, is then again used in the wash applications that we defined. And we are, for instance, growing fish in the wastewater, growing algae in the wastewater of the machine. These are the benefits of having a social impact, environmental impact project supported by technology, but not limited to technology, and having people in the field not just as client but as partners. We are growing from the technology and from the business model we have with the local farmers, local villagers, and poor urban areas across East, West, and now South Africa. I think my time is done, and this is what Boreal Light and Water Kiosk is doing.
Thank you, Hamed, so much for this incredible presentation. And we have actually seen one of these water kiosks in Berlin. They're very, very portable. And as you say, they really reduce the cost of drinking water in rural Africa by a factor of 10, 20 at this point. And I think that is so needed. It's an important work. And we really hope that you're going to find the right partners in the future to scale the business model and the technology to make a massive impact and to accelerate your impact over the coming months. Enough from me. Renat, back to you. What are your questions to Hamed?
All right, Hamed, thanks for this pitch. First question to you. How do you define your business model?
Yeah, this case of business model is a very interesting part of whatever questions I receive or whatever explanations we have. Because producing a machine is one thing, producing a business is a whole different story. We have two business models in the company. We have the B2B business model that we sell the machine to aid organizations, to farmers, hotels, resorts, whomever who needs such a machine. But the business model I explained about Water Kiosk is a business model of the B2C. We manufacture the machine and also operate it, run it, and sell water to the end user. In both business models, the company is, in neither of them we are charity. We are not charity, we are a business. So in the B2B, we are selling a machine. In the B2C, we are selling our services and our products in form of water. So this, especially in the form of, the B2B is easy. The B2C is the tricky part, that it's done through the setup, the capacity we have created in remote part of Africa to be able to operate, to be able to sell water in a sustainable way at an affordable cost.
Next question. How many systems do you have on the ground now, and how many do you want to have on the ground in the next 24 months?
22 operational, and then by the end of 2020, we're going to be something about 68. So even not going to 24 months from now, by the end of 2020, we're going to have we got in total 68. So from in East Africa mainly Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, South Africa, these are the places receiving such machine. We expect for next year, just in next year for the installation, we are pledging for another 100.
Ahmed, that sounds really, really impressive. Congratulations. So if you are looking now at a larger rollout right now, who are you looking to partner with?
Thank you, Renat. It's a very good and right moment question for us, because we are looking for such opportunity at the moment for a scale up, and it's the smart investor who is bringing not just the finance but also the skill, bringing additional work to us, either in the field of renewables, solar, water, environment, and sustainability. These are the kind of characteristics that at the moment we are looking for.
Thank you, Renat, so much. And on to the next company in the impact category, Ecoligo, and the CEO, Martin. Please take it from here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. So what is it that Ecoligo does? Ecoligo connects two things. We connect ecological energy solutions with economic development. And more precisely, we provide a fully financed solar as a service solution for businesses in emerging markets. And we do so because the high cost of power is the #1 challenge for businesses in these markets, as rightly pointed out by Al-Hassan Andani, the CEO of Stanbic Bank, one of our first customers in the market. The problems our clients are facing are twofolded. On the one hand, they are facing financial challenges. Oftentimes, they don't have equity to invest outside of their core business, and they have limited access to debt finance, or debt finance is too expensive. And on the operational side, they need to focus their precious time on their core business, and they lack the technical expertise to deal with solar installations and the operation of such projects. So we as Ecoligo, in our solar as a service solution, provide these businesses a fully financed one-stop shop. We raise the capital for the project on the crowd investing platform ecoligo.investment. We qualify our engineering partners that build these projects for our customers in the emerging markets. And we take care of operation and maintenance. And last but not least, we insure the system. And by doing so, in the past 4 years, we realized 58 projects in 5 countries, totaling to 17.4 megawatt peak of capacity that helped save 150,000 tons of CO2 emissions. And currently, we're still growing. We're doing a Series B of 7.5 million euro with the key target to expand into 10 or more countries in the next year. We're also going to focus on the further development of Pulse, which is our fully digital platform that is enabling the project development of commercial and industrial solar projects in emerging markets. And by that, we actually want to achieve 200 projects by 2022. To fund these projects, we're going to expand the crowdfunding platform on a European level, reaching out to 14,000 crowd investors by 2022. And most importantly, with that, we're going to build projects with an embedded contract revenue of more than 150 million euro by 2022. And with that, we actually want to achieve our vision, which is a CO2 neutral energy supply for all businesses in emerging markets. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Really impressive track record for this young German company ready to grow. Let's hear from Renat. What are your questions?
Thanks for this exciting pitch, Martin. So, my questions. The first one being, Martin, what makes you proud?
We're really proud that despite the difficult times that we're facing and despite the travel restrictions coming from COVID, We already achieved our sales goals of this year in July. That really, to us as a young company, is proof that the business model that we have found and the solutions that we offer in the market are desperately needed, and that we have a good product that allows us to grow further.
Thanks a lot. Next question. What makes Ecoligo special and better than the competitors?
Ecoligo's business model is what makes us special. We combine the crowd investing side with low cost of capital with the ownership of the project that allows us to reduce the risk for the crowd investors. And by doing both, we actually generate a setup whereby crowd investors get nice returns at low risk, and our customers on the project side benefit from low cost of energy, much cheaper than competition. And we can do this because of our core product Pulse, which enables us to automate and digitize our entire business process, allowing for rapid scale up without scaling up our resources and scaling up our work.
Great, thanks a lot. So my third and last question, Martin, what would be your perfect investor or partner for your company?
A perfect investor for Ecoligo would be a company that really helps us to grow into emerging markets, understands the difficulties of these markets, and helps us to become better at what we do, to professionalize our operational setup. And so, in short, it's really about smart money that enables us to make the most out of the investment from the investor that we're seeking.
All right, great. Wow, what a fantastic night. Thanks a lot for having me once again. Exciting startups. I have to say, all three of them, I wish that we have all of you guys as South Pole partners very soon. Also, Julien and the whole team, I hope to be back in Bali very soon. If not home for Christmas, then hopefully next year. Miss you all, guys. Have a great rest of the night. Thanks a lot.
What a great lineup of pitches we've had tonight. But before we wrap up, I'd like to give a special thanks to the man behind the magic. Julien Uhlig is an experienced fundraiser, entrepreneur, singer, and the father of 3 beautiful children. After years of successfully fundraising for his own businesses, Julien decided to expand his focus into also teaching next-generation entrepreneurs in order to connect them to the funds to bring their visions into reality. And here we are.
Thank you, Kayla, for this fantastic introduction and for being with us all evening. And to all the companies that have pitched over the last hour and a half from Germany that are bringing such incredible solutions to market. I am very proud to be your host and coordinator for this event, and I truly hope that together we can accelerate the development, adaptation, and growth of clean technologies all over the world. There's so much that needs to be done. There's so many challenges to humanity in the 21st century. But together, I believe, after this magical weeks of working with you guys, there's nothing technically that we cannot solve together. Thank you so much. Please log into members.exventure.co to be part of the voting panel. We want to know from you which company you like best, you want to support. Send us a message. Support these companies with your feedback as they're bringing their incredible products and services to market. My name is Julien Uhlig, and I want to thank you so much for your time, for your attention, and we see you tomorrow at the same time when you're going to find out who is the final winner of our program. So keep voting. We're super excited to see you again tomorrow.